Welcome back to the Math and Physics Resource Center from Saginaw Valley State University Online. My name is Amanda, and today we're going back into the Math 082 Factoring by Trial and Error lesson. But this time, it's going to have a negative b term and a negative c term. So the trinomial is going to be in the form of ax squared minus bx minus c. So in order to factor it, it's going to be similar to when the b term was positive and the c term was negative. But in this case, instead of having the smaller number be negative, this case we want the bigger number to be negative, because in order to multiply to be a negative, one of the factors needs to be negative and the other needs to be positive. So it's going to be in the form of x with some coefficient, x plus and x minus. Now, since we don't have any actual numbers on this layout, it's just the variables, I'm not going to be able to put the positive. I'm not going to be able to see which one should be positive and which one should be negative from this. But we can see with this example. So now let's move into an example. For example, we're going to do 6x squared minus 25x minus 14. So first things first, we're going to start off by listing the factors of a, so our 6. So the factors of 6 are going to be 1 and 6, 2, and 3. And now we're going to list the factors of 14. The factors of 14, which are going to be 1 and 14, 14 and 1, 2 and 7, 7 and 2. So now we're going to set it up. So we're going to set it up with a coefficient, We're going to have 1 plus, 1 minus. We're also going to account for the reverse, where the plus and minus are paired with the others. So now we're going to create another set of combinations that we'll test simultaneously. So it'll be x minus and x plus. So now let's test with 1 and 6. Now when testing with 1 and 6, we're going to test with 1 and 14 first. Now let's multiply them out. We're going to multiply 1 and 6 and 1x and negative 14. Keep in mind, we're not foiling the entire thing because we're just testing right now. And also, we perfectly manipulated it, so when fully foiled, the first term and the last term will come out as such. So 1 and 6x is going to be 6x, and 1x and negative 14 is going to be negative 14x. This comes out to be negative 8x, which is not what we're looking for. So let's test the bottom. With the bottom, we're going to have 1x times 14 and negative 1 times 6x. So negative 1 times 6x is going to give us a negative 6x, and then it's going to be plus 14x. It's pretty much just the reverse of this. So that's going to be a positive 8x. So now, let's try a different combination. So now we're going to try 14 and 1. So right off the bat, we can tell this isn't going to work, because we're going to have 14 times 6, which is going to be a really large positive number, which is not going to give us this negative 25. Same goes for the second combination. It's going to give us a negative 14 times 6, which is going to be something much greater than negative 25. So we can rule this one out without even going through the test. Next, we're going to test 2 and 7. With 2 and 7, we're going to get 2 times 6x, which will give us a positive 12x, and negative 7 times 1x, which is going to give us a negative 7x. Negative 7 plus positive 12, that's going to give us a positive 5, which is not what we're looking for. We're looking for a negative 25. And we're going to have negative 2 times 6, which is going to give us a negative 12, and 7 times 1 is going to give us a positive 7. Notice how the top factored form and the bottom factored form give the same number but different signs. So 2 and 7 is ruled out. If we test out 7 and 2, right at the beginning, we're going to be able to tell it's not going to work, because we're going to have 7 times 6, which is going to give us positive 42, which is nowhere near negative 25. And the negative 2 will not make much of a difference. Negative 7 times 6, that's going to give us a negative 42, with the positive 2 not making much of a difference. So 1 and 6 are not the winning combination. So let's get rid of those. So now let's test 2 and 3. All right, let's go through them all. First, let's test 1 and 14 again. We're going to have 2x times negative 14 and 1 times 3. 2x times negative 14 is going to give a negative 28x, and 1 times 3x is going to give a positive 3x. Added together, it's going to give a negative 25x, which is exactly what we're looking for. Therefore, that is our winning combination. So that means our correct answer is going to be this combination right here. The final factored form is going to be 2x plus 1 times 3x minus 14. Thank you so much for visiting the Online Math and Physics Resource Center from Saginaw Valley State University. Thank you for watching.